Well, the Cuyahoga River drains more than 800 square miles, and in other hard-hit communities of Summit County, in that watershed, the water is still receding. But the lessons learned are tough to stomach, and you have heard me say it before, floodwater is Mother Nature's overflowing toilet, and we had floodwater from several communities tested to find out how much bacteria is in it. As expected, the numbers were alarming. Our Ray Strickland joins us live with more on the numbers and some ways to help yourself and your family. Ray?
Hey, how you doing, Betsy? And you know, we already knew, as you said, floodwater is Mother Nature's overflowing toilet. So we already knew floodwaters are disgusting, but what we may not have known is just exactly how nasty they are. Well, our results say in at least 3 areas, the floodwaters had very high levels of E. coli.
People have to realize what's really in here. I mean, we don't even know what's in there.
Yet we still see this, kids and even adults playing and swimming in floodwater. In Barberton, Patty Rappinchunk says she cringed when she saw that exact thing after 14th Street Northwest flooded.
These kids were out here playing, swimming in it, jumping in it, running through their bikes with it.
Exposing themselves to dangerous bacteria. That led us to test the floodwater in not only Barberton, but also Canal Fulton and Clinton. We took samples to the experts at Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, a place that tests the beaches of Lake Erie's water quality. Using recreation water quality standards, we found on 4 different streets in Canal Fulton E. coli levels with counts expressed as most probable number per 100 milliliters measured between 548 and nearly 2,300. In Clinton on North Street, it measured at 1,060. But perhaps the most eye-opening was on 14th Street Northwest in Barberton. E. coli levels there were 26,130. That's 100 times more than the allowable safety standard, which is 235 mpn per 100 milliliters.
Oh, that just makes me sick to my stomach because now I know what's in my basement.
That kind of catches me off guard that it was that high.
Joyce Coburn is on Barberton City Council, a city that's warned its residents about raw sewage and other contaminants in floodwater, which if exposed could lead to diseases and serious infections.
We always advocate not to walk in it, not to play in it, and certainly not to let your children play in it.
She says she now hopes people get the message.
So if you come in contact with floodwater, one of the best ways to protect yourself is to make sure you're washing your hands with soap and water. And also, if your clothes get soaked, make sure you wash them in hot water and, of course, laundry detergent. And when you are cleaning up, make sure that you are wearing gloves and also other protective clothing. But the absolute best way to protect yourself, Betsy, is just stay away from the floodwaters entirely.
And it's easy enough to do. Thanks a lot, Ray. Those numbers just so eye-opening. You feel for those people down
Definitely.
there.
And Ray talked about it, and I asked you during his piece, what happens if you have a hangnail or something and you're
get
in
an
that kind of
infection
water?
very easily.
Ugh, yeah.
And of course, there's a story that goes along with it, because when I was a kid, we lived down the street from a thing called the Gamoff's Field. It was a farm field. It would drain. Our street would flood. We'd have a great time playing in the floodwater until the dead possum floated by.
Wow.
I'm done. I'm out. And never again did I go in the floodwater.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh.
That will ruin your day, Betsy.
Yeah, and I think I was like maybe 7 or 8 when that happened. So I cut it off of the pond early, I'll tell you what.